We had really enjoyed our last couple days in Boca Raton, Puerto Rico, but with Hurricane Elsa developing and heading our way, we made the decision to sail 400 miles south to Curacao. As the sun went down, we hoisted our dinghy and got ready to go.
All right, it is 10 p.m., almost 10:30 actually. We're trying to pull the anchor by 11 and get out of here. So we're closing up hatches and doing a few last things, and then we are on our way. Do you remember how to sail?
I think so.
We'll see what happens.
And we're off. It is midnight. And we're just rounding the point by the lighthouse. Hopefully we have a good sail. Good morning. It is around 4:30 a.m. and I just woke up and I'm doing my watch for the next 4 hours and it's slow going. We're only averaging about 5 knots, but the wind is coming out of the south, which is not what we were expecting. So the wind is coming out of the direction we want to go. So not as smooth of sail as we'd hoped for, but we're doing okay. And I am waiting for the sunrise. This is what a typical 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. watch looks like. Well, when we have a working autopilot. I sleep for 15 minutes, my alarm goes off, I check our surroundings for any boats or floating debris, then I check our chart plotter to make sure we are still on the right track, and check AIS for any nearby boat traffic. And if all looks good, I lay back down and reset my alarm for 15 more minutes. And do you know what happens at 8 a.m. when it's time for Gary's watch? Well, that's when the fishing lines go out. And just as we pass through our first weed patch, yup, fish on. So we've been sailing for 12 hours now. It is my shift, and I'm feeling a little squishy. The first day of a long sail is always the hardest, but the good news is we have one mahi in the fridge right now.
We reset the lines, enjoyed the sailing, and it wasn't long before we heard the reel go off again. Keep her now.
Come back.
It's a little one.
Let him go. Hi, buddy.
Once again, we put the fishing lines back out and went back to enjoying the beautiful sail. It wasn't long at all before we pulled in another mahi, and since we still had room in the freezer, we decided to keep this one. Sailing along with our autopilot, good wind and sunny skies, we were living the dream.
We've got a fish on, but it's way back there. Gary's been reeling it in for probably about 20 minutes so far. We can't tell what it is yet.
I had forgot to engage the clicker on the reel when resetting the lines this time, but luckily I looked back just in time to see the line peeling off the reel. Our big spools have over a half mile of line on them, so I had my work cut out for me. It was Brooke's turn on the gaff this time.
Got it.
Don't forget to put your clicker on, or you'll be reeling in a fish for a mile. Well, I just finished filleting our third mahi, and it's been a really good day. We've been averaging about 5 knots, and today's been pretty good. I forgot just how exhausting it is to sail offshore. Just being heeled over all the time. It's so hard to go down inside the boat and do anything. It's hard to sleep, it's hard to make food, it's just all around exhausting. But the fishing was on fire today, so that's super cool. And I've got about an hour left on my watch before Brooke comes up, so I'm gonna sit here and enjoy this sunset.
Face washed, coffee made, ready for my watch.
All right, well, it is day 2 and feeling much better. We were pretty exhausted yesterday, but now we're into the groove and it's going good. It's a beautiful day, it's sunny, it's only blowing about 15 knots now, and our autopilot has been working this whole time, which makes life so much better. All right, let's go see what Brooke's doing. When the conditions are right, there is something absolutely magical about sailing on the open ocean. Not a worry in the world, no internet, no distractions, nothing to do but relax and enjoy the ride.
Looks like we might get a little rain this afternoon. Maybe it'll wash the blood off our deck from the mahis yesterday. It's pretty gross up there.
As we've said so many times before, things can change incredibly fast on the ocean. One minute we are laying in the sun and cruising along, the next we are scrambling to pull in sails, and then hand steering through blistering rain and wind. We rode out the squall with no issues other than being absolutely soaked, or so we thought. So we just went through that squall and we turned off the autopilot when the squall hit because the winds picked up, and we're hand steering, and then we went to turn the autopilot back on after the squall and it did nothing. Of course, I just replaced the gears in this again and reconfigured it, and it's already not working, so I'm trying to figure out what's going on with it. The drive itself looks okay, and maybe the gears are already stripped on the inside again. Well, the autopilot is no longer working. It's not skipping teeth or anything like that. It's, I don't know, just not responding, not doing anything. I don't know what's wrong with it, but the drive will not work. So, back to hand steering.
Woohoo!
Yay! We love hand steering. Shocker, it only lasted a day and a half.
Mother Nature came through, showed us who's boss, and then finally autopilot kicked our ass again. Great.
I think it might be time for a new one. We might splurge when we get to Curacao.
We are getting our butts kicked once again. There's another storm that's blowing through. I just got up from my watch and Gary told me to stay down here so I stay dry. Ever since that storm blew through earlier, we've just not been having a good time of it. But losing that autopilot is a big bummer.
With just 2 more days of sailing in front of us, we knew we would make it. The mood on board sure was different though, but we've been through this before and we knew exactly what we needed to do.
Hey, I just got done with my watch. So it was a fun night and fun morning. And we just talked to the SSCA net, and it looks like we're gonna be running from weather the rest of our trip. But really cool thing about the SSCA is the wonderful net and the ability to give us that weather information and also relay to our friends and Gary's mom that we are okay and that our ETA is going to be Friday.
So, maybe you want to make your way east as you can right now so that when that stuff goes southeast, you don't have such a feed into it, over.
That was great copy, thank you. Can you please have them message Gary's mom, Sandy, and tell her that our ETA is now Friday, over?
Roger that. We will let Gary's mom, Sandy, know about the ETA, over.
That would be fantastic, thank you so much.
It's day 3, and the wind is playing tricks on us as usual. It shifted to out of the south, which of course is the direction we are trying to sail. I've got the full Genoa out and the staysail and the reefed main, and I've got it very well balanced, so I don't need to steer. By trimming all 3 of the sails and getting everything perfectly balanced, you can just set the helm in the middle, lock the brake down here, and the boat tracks straight. So this will last until the next squall hits us, and then we'll be scrambling to pull in the Genoa.
Here comes the rain and I say it's all right.
Okay. These are out.
This is fun, right? Who doesn't love a good squall?
It can stop raining anytime now.
So I just spent 2 hours of my rest 4 hours up on deck. First we had a nice squall to deal with, and then I noticed a loud clinking coming from up by the bow, so I went up there. Oh shit! You know what's banging so much? And our Dolphin Striker bar, which is the bar that supports the anchor davit, had somehow come loose and was just swinging around, bashing off the hull, bouncing around in the waves. So had to go crawl up there and got a rope around it and secured it so it'll stop smashing around. And once we get into the anchorage, we'll be able to look at it a little better and see what the damage is, but it should be fine for now. Yeah, day 3, another grueling one. Brooke's up there singing to herself because I think she's lost her mind.
Just singing in the rain. What a beautiful day. Just singing in the rain.
And I'm in here gonna try to get some sleep, listening to the creaking and groaning of the boat. You can hear that. It's kind of just what it sounds like when you sail. Everything creaks and groans and rattles, and it's a little tough to sleep sometimes, but I'm going to try to get some rest. Catch y'all later.
I just turned on our engine. The wind died after that squall, so we were going like 2 knots. So I'm gonna motor for a little while and see if the wind picks up. And we're sailing again. It's pretty nice right now. It's about 14 knots, no rain, and we're able to point south. So things are looking good. Okay, good morning. I am dried off. Gary and I have been taking turns all through the night, 2 hours on, an hour on, an hour off, just whatever we can do. The conditions were not ideal. Hope the sun comes up soon. Riding these balls out in the dark is absolutely no fun at all. Oh, and it's also thundering. Lovely. Exactly what you want to hear in the middle of the ocean. But it is now probably about 7 a.m. We're both exhausted. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm so tired. Coast Guard, this is Sailing Vessel One Life.
This is Dutch Caribbean Coast Guard. Did I understood the name as One Life?
Roger. I would like to request entry into the quarantine anchorage, please.
You can proceed to the anchorage areas, and because today it's a national holiday.
It's a national holiday here in Curacao, which of course we didn't know. But it sounds like Customs and Immigration and the Health Department will come out tomorrow, which is Saturday.
We made it to Curacao! Woohoo! And I just saw dolphins, so I forgot about all of the rain and all the terrible things that happened on our way here. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and we look forward to sharing our Curacao adventures with you. Cheers, everyone. Thanks for watching.